simply had to beat Munster.
James Richards looking for and finding Gary Teichmann. It's Popham on the short burst over halfway. The Munster back row were waiting for him. Howarth to the blind side, Pinney up in the line, giving Matt Mostyn a run. Looks strong, good support as well. Again, it's the short runners outside, Shane Howarth. Raiwal Louis, that lovely pick up by Jason Forster. Howarth the side, Stringer and Clohessy just to do. Newport to use again. The Newport had only Martin Llewellyn outside it. For the rest of the Newport forwards to arrive. Pinney up in the line. Pinney through the gap beautifully out to Mostyn. Matt Mostyn over in the corner. Just the start that Newport wanted. And it's the Irishman who scores against Munster. Matt Pinney hit the line at pace. That was all important. Timed his pass to perfection. A little juggling act from Matt Mostyn, but he's safely over for Newport's first. Now the slow ball. So again, he used the big men just to tie up the back row for Munster, and they have been very evident. That looked like hands, indeed it was. The ball just popping out on Munster's side. Have a look at number 7, David Wallace. Whoops, there it goes, between the legs, illegally. Shane Howarth has struck that one better, and it sails through. Stretches Newport's lead up to 10 points. Newport disrupt the Munster scrum for once, but Foley did ever so well. Stringer, O'Gara, Foster did superbly, and it looks like it could be a Newport turnover. Yes, the ball is there. Darren Edwards, Matt Pinney at pace. Pinney outside his man. Pinney still going. They ripped the ball out of the hands of Ronan O'Gara. There was the turnover to be used. Matt Pinney at pace, past Longford, past Stringer, and over in the corner. Teichmann cleaning up at the tail. Not really his ball, but it'll do for Newport, just to relieve the pressure from their own try line. Oh, Mostyn was in a bit early on Horgan. Took him while he was still in the air. Good take by Horgan. Mostyn just a little bit early, unfortunate, but it was a dangerous tackle, and that's 10 minutes in the sin bin for Matt Mostyn. O'Neill is within 5 metres. This is concerted pressure now from Munster. Stringer to O'Gara. O'Gara inside, and he's over. They held on to the ball well, did Munster. Almost messed it up, but Ronan O'Gara gets Munster's first points. Stringer and O'Gara work well together, and he just got inside Marinos for the touchdown. Howarth using Marinos well. Mostyn is there on his elbow, but he can't get the pass in. That was unfortunate for Newport. Howarth lines up the drop goal. It's a funny one, but it's over. And that puts 2 scores again between the teams. Just what Newport wanted. 18-10 for the Black and Ambers. Gough pops it down, but a bit of a mix-up, allowing John Langford to go through on it. Stringer has got a very quick service all evening. That's Alan Quinlan setting it up on the 10-metre line. Referee, arms outstretched for the moment, then he blows his whistle and just stops James Richards in his tracks. Quinlan took it on. Foster was all over him. Teichmann was in there. Play on, said the referee, for the minute. Then he's penalised Munster. They're a bit unlucky. Howarth from a long distance, he struck it beautifully. That's a great kick, and just what Newport wanted to end the first half. They started it well, they finished it well, they lead 21-10, they'll be well pleased.
Wait, engage. Okay, stay.
Munster have had the better of the scrums. They get pressure on, not the best of feeds from Teichmann. He put Edwards under pressure. The hack through is from Stringer. Oh, the side foot is superbly controlled by Ronan O'Gara. The race is on. Pritchard is back there. Didn't get pressure on it, but it's over the dead ball line. Newport just about survived. Lovely side foot from Ronan O'Gara to keep it in field. The race between O'Neill and John Pritchard. Didn't get a touchdown. Was glad to see it going over the dead ball line. superb take from John Langford, and really both teams have excelled at that aspect of play this evening. But this is where Munster are getting stronger and stronger. The take and drive, they are putting pressure constantly on Newport. Stringer releases to O'Gara, who sets up the drop goal. Hits the post, but it's gone over. It's gone over after hitting the post. They all count, but the Hawkeyes of Joel Jutke saw that one. O'Gara's drop goal strikes the right-hand side upright, and from there you can clearly see goes over the bar. Again, Raiwa Louis is the target runner for Newport, but his co-forwards pile over the top and give away the penalty. It's been quickly taken again by Alan Quinlan, who's the man of the moment in this second half for Munster. David Wallace was outstanding in the first, and really all of this Munster back row have been excellent. That time though, they're penalised for hanging on the floor. Perfect silence for Shane Howarth. And the silence is greeted now by a massive roar as again the 8-point margin is restored. Newport breathe a sigh of relief. Langford has been quite a target in that line-out for Munster tonight. O'Gara bringing in David Wallace. Wallace strong past the first line of defence. It's the wrap-around tackle that's penalised that time. It's Pritchard with a tackle. They try and release it, but they're not allowed to, says Mr. Jutke. O'Gara, well, he can't miss a thing. It has been an excellent exhibition of place kicking from the Irish outside half, and they're back within one score. No wonder the Booroos are banging. O'Gara again lines up the drop goal. It's as easy as that. And for the first time in the match, with just 6 minutes remaining, Munster are ahead, and O'Gara has got the lot. Mike Mullins goes for the outside break. He's outside. Raiwa Louis drifts through Matt Pinney's tackle, and that seals it for Munster. The replacement centre, Mike Mullins. And the Irish are celebrating, because now there's no doubting it. Munster are going to win at Rodney Parade. Mike Mullins hasn't been on that long, but he made his presence felt. Has Hogan outside him, didn't need him. Great try from Mullins. Desperation from Newport in injury time. Lovely take by Raiwa Louis, the one-handed feed, but it's intercepted by Anthony Hogan, and there's no point in Teichmann chasing him, and he knows it. It's another try for Munster. It's the icing on the cake, and Newport are dejected because they're on their way out of Europe. Newport had to try something. It was easy pickings for Anthony Hogan, and a simple try. Ronan O'Gara slots it over. It's the last kick of the match, and it's fitting that O'Gara finishes it off. He's even outdone Neil Jenkins from the night before. 29 points for O'Gara. Newport are out of Europe, and Munster, finalists last year, are on their way to the quarters once again. What a comeback from the Munster men. Newport 24, Munster 39.
Well, it was, we had to win in order to stay in the European competition to get through the quarters, so it's a big disappointment, especially after the way we started. If we were on top of them, and then in the second half we just went to pieces.
The first time we've won in Wales since the competition began, so that's a big monkey off our back, and the way we did it, I don't think we could have done it any better, so very happy tonight.
A monkey off their back. Winning in Wales. They look good, don't they, Munster? They look as if they could well go to the final again, Jonathan.
Yeah, they've won in Castres, now they've gone to Newport, and it was a game really that Newport had to win, and second half they just rolled away, just rolled over, the power took over. So,
and they were without Keith Wood as well. I mean, Keith Wood last year was an inspiration to them, really. But he's back at Harlequins. I think, in fairness to them, they've still got that spirit and commitment that's sort of seen them through.
There's a contrast, isn't there? The contrast in the side that has been through qualifying, been through quarterfinals, been to a final before, and Newport having a first dabble.
Yeah, but I think so. The thing is, they're very confident at home, Munster, aren't they? Very confident, you know.
No way.
So they go away and they sneak a victory at Castray. That's in the bag, so they're looking quite comfortable. Then again, you know, they go then to Newport and they win again. And I think everything's about the power. Everything, they take their points, they climb back. They were 15 points behind, and I just feel that, you know, they don't panic at all. But as Newport, not for the first time, they start like a, you know, with a huge bang, and then they just.
I've seen them quite a few times this year, and they do always start off with a bang. They create so many opportunities, but they never sort of, they're not clinical enough to kill sides off. And that's exactly the same yesterday. You know, they got to a point where they were coasting it to some degree, but foot off the pedal and back Munster.
It remains a very interesting group because although Munster obviously qualified, there's still a chance that, you know, that the runners-up spot may be all important, which of course affects Llanelli and but anyway, who for?
I can't see anyone going through. Munster go through. I can't see Bath going through. You know, they play Newport the next game. If they have 8 points, I don't think they'll have enough tries to go through. So I think Munster will go through. Maybe, you know, depends on the other results. You know, they might be in the top 3 seeds, but they'll definitely get a home result. It's
very hard to predict these things, but it looks as if Bath will have to score something like 7 tries against Newport.
Yeah.
So in a way, Newport aren't out of the competition yet.
They need to play well to help the other Welsh side, hopefully. But I think, you know, the difference I felt was the organisation, the decision making, and the penalties that you know, Newport kicked long distance penalties, missed them, and then when they had easy penalties, they kicked a touch and went for the try. Whereas O'Gara, I think, controlled everything, you know, for Munster. Look, he uses the forwards here. He drags the forwards on his inside shoulder. Watch, he's out the shot on the left-hand side. He drags the forward over, and he was in with a dummy inside look. He uses Closey of all people and just pushes over. And again, this looks, when he needed it, forward on the inside, bang, he's through the gap and they're in the position again. And then just to get back in the game within 3 points, the second drop goal, and they were in the game, and they just clawed their way back and slowly took over and won quite convincingly at the end.
And 3,000 Irishmen poured onto Rodney Parade.
I think Newport got the marketing right, haven't they? I mean, apparently all week they'd involved sort of Irish bands and groups to obviously generate a bit of atmosphere and feeling, but probably it worked against them because it was a great atmosphere certainly for Munster.
It was a great week, and you know, all of a sudden everything went well, the marketing, except the result. So there we are. But another Irish club in town were Ulster. Again, they had to win really, but against a very good Cardiff side.
Neil Jenkins is through the gap beautifully. He's got Gareth Thomas on his right. Thomas for the corner. Has he strong enough? It's inside, and the try is there. What a glorious try. And it's come to Jamie Robinson. That's Muller again. Cardiff are big men behind the scrum, and even with slow ball and when they're under pressure, they're big enough and strong enough to stand there and wait for the support to come, and as in this case, get a penalty as well. 55 metres, and it gets there. It's long enough. Yes, it is a remarkable opening to the second half for Cardiff and Neil Jenkins, and that will break the Ulsterman's heart, surely. It's there for Cardiff. Rhys Williams comes in to play scrum half. Jenkins looks for a drop goal. Well, he's showing us all the range again tonight. They're within 2 meters. Surely they must score. Jenkins is out. Jenkins is there.
Cardiff at their most dynamic, and they head Pool 3. Double the number of points of Saracens. Saracens to lose, of course, may have a bearing. There are still runners-up spots available.
But again, it's they need to go to Toulouse and get a result to guarantee a home spot, because you know, if they lose in Toulouse, who knows? Because only the strongest 4 go through, and it's all up in the air at the moment. So it's a question of going out. And the same thing as Swansea, really, go over there, maintain their form, get a nice little home draw.
I suppose for Swansea, it's the handicap of having the Italian group in. That's know, it's so easier, or it is that much easier to have an Italian side in your group.
Yeah,
but if
so.
you have to go to Paris for the last game, that's the handicap. And so, but Cardiff are being doubly penalised because they've got a hell of a pool, and now they've got to go to Toulouse.
Again, it's that you know, it's that first defeat in Ulster, which they were very, very upset about. They turned it over. I know they got to Toulouse, but I thought for Wales, Rob, all individuals. You look, Jinx was playing well. Howley was playing well. Di Young is back. Jamie Robinson played exceptionally well. The wings are going well. They're looking good now.
Yeah, they are. It was nice to see Di Young back. Actually, I didn't think that he'd perform as well as he did, but he's inspirational. I think that's what came through. I mean, he's a big influence on the players, and Neil Jenkins on that type of form. He's, you know, I mean, I probably haven't seen him play as well, certainly at club level, and take so much control of a game as he did. And
the older guard, you know, Di Young comes back from injury, and he just slots straight into it. Owen Williams comes in, 36 years. He was just outstanding in the back row.
But I think, you know, if they get Cutler back and they get Dan Bauer back, all of a sudden a lot of players there who hadn't played. Craig O'Neill hadn't played. Di Young hadn't played. Lynn Howes used the bench wisely. So, but I thought Jinx was fantastic. He controlled everything. Everyone's saying that, you know, he's put a yard of pace on. I think the difference is he's running onto the ball now. He's so confident. He's aware of people in front of him. And if there's a forward there, slow forward, he just shows. And instead of like looking to pass, his foot down, he's going forward, and people are supporting him, and I think he's sensational.
I don't think he's as hesitant as he's been as well. There were times last year where there was a half gap and he wouldn't go for it. He'd probably take the easier option. On Friday night, half gap, bang, he was straight through. And his passing's so good as well, you know. I mean, he can find people, whether it's a long pass, a short pass. I mean, that's it was an awesome performance.
His decision-making as well, you know. Nobody outside him, slow ball, drop goal.
Okay.
Just another nail in the coffin. So.
Ronan O'Gara, Neil Jenkins, controlling things from 10. What will happen this afternoon at Wasps? Will it be Alwell Thomas's day? Because Swansea